reference to how to get the migration tools. I will quickly jump in to that developer site that we. Oops, that's not it. I typically we've got a IBM.biz was downloads. We have WAS Migration Toolkit. We've got a couple little shortcuts. You can also search on the WebSphere Migration Knowledge Collection. Just a simple search on that label takes you up to this WebSphere Migration Knowledge Collection, where we've got lots of information on WebSphere migration, getting started, migrating to Liberty, your traditional version-to-version migration, and then the downloads for the tools that we have available. And Dana's already highlighted some of the results from the binary scanner, the migration toolkit for application binaries, and then we also have the Eclipse tool that you can use for using in the Eclipse IDE to make your code changes. The reports that the binary scanner put out that are available from TA, and you can give those to your developers for those not using Eclipse. But the Eclipse tool has quite a few nice features. You can download it using Eclipse Marketplace, or you can copy this repo link and install that as part of your your install process. And we have, or you can download the IDE if you've got more of a fire-gapped environment. There's a great documentation PDF on all things about installing and using the migration toolkit. So let's jump right into it. Of course, I've got it already installed here, but I could have gone to, install new software and gone through the process of installing Eclipse Eclipse plugins. But there's a couple things. Once this plugin is installed, you can get to it a couple different ways. Through the Run menu, there's this Analysis tab. I can get to my configurations there. The way I get to it most often is this little bitty icon. It's a microscope to, analyze, look at your code. And I tend to go in there. And you get into the Software Analyzer window, and you can create a new configuration for analyzing any particular, your whole workspace or a particular application. And first I'm going to go through and let's look a little bit deeper at the customer order app. And I can name it something so I can remember what this configuration is about. And the customer order app, I'm going to do tWAS to Liberty. And I can analyze the whole workspace, or I can select certain projects that are related to this particular application, and I can then go select rules. Well, there's over 1,000 different rules in this installation. Most of them are Java rules. You see 832 Java rules, but they cover a lot of different scenarios. We've got rules to help you in your version-to-version migration. We've got rules to help you in version-to-version of traditional. We've got traditional WebSphere to Liberty. When you get into Liberty, you might start thinking about, okay, I want to up to the latest Java EE level. So we have rules to help you do that. We have rules to help you get to the latest Java SE, and we're adding rules all the time for 15, 16, leading up to the Java SE 17 that's about to come in. So you never want to just select all the rules, because it would just be a almost contradictory set of things analyzing your application. So you come in to these rule sets and you choose a rule set. Today we'll be focusing on the WebSphere Application Server version migration, and that includes tWAS and Liberty. But you see there's others. There's WebLogic, JBoss, Tomcat, and we have some other just handy rule sets that you can take a look at and use. So you select that. That still hasn't selected any rule because this is a dynamic rule set. So you have to press the set button. And from there, our scans were done on a WAS 855. I can choose to go Liberty, Liberty Core, Open Liberty. I can do 855 to 90. You know, there's different ways to configure where you're coming from and where you're coming to. And you'll see if I have Open Liberty selected, I can only choose Java EE7 or Java EE8 because that's all that's available from Open Liberty. And as was mentioned earlier, Dana mentioned, if I when I'm using Liberty, I've got more choices. We got Java EE6 web profile is part of WebSphere Liberty, the commercial offering, and it's not the full Java EE6, but for many applications, that's good for that modernization path because you're already coming from an older traditional WebSphere that's using EE6 or earlier. And there's a few of the implementations that have changed between EE6 and EE7, particularly with JPA and JAX-RS and CDI. So these implementations have changed. So it might be an easier path. Your first on-ramp to Liberty might be through Java EE6. And then once you get there, then you can come in and say, configure going from Liberty to Liberty, say from Java EE6 to EE7. And that gives you a set of rules that ups how you want to migrate between levels. Similarly, I'll just go ahead and show you this now while I'm in here. Let's say we go EE7 to EE7. We're not going to change our EE level, not going to do anything there, but we maybe want to look at what does it take to go from the source Java of Java 8 to Java 11. We try to stay up to date here. We're working on 16 right now. This one has up to 15. We try to get to the latest non-LTS. We release these tools every quarter and continue to update. And so as 16, we'll have 16 rules available soon. Then in the fall, when Java 17 comes out as the next LTS release, long-term service support release, those rules will come in here as well. That's in, and that's true about this Eclipse tool. It's also true about the binary scanner. You can use the binary scanner to scan an EAR or WAR file, and you can run those same evaluations of that level of detail to up your Java EE level, to up your Java SE level, to do your full tWAS to Liberty migration. Very flexible in how you can do your migrations. So let's go back to, we're coming from 855. Let's look at Liberty. The way Transformation Advisor works when they, pull this back up real quick. The recommendations page. When Transformation Advisor is targeting WebSphere Liberty, they're very specifically pointing at those EE6 extra features that would make migration easier. Now you can, and then I believe the Open Liberty is using 7. You could use 7 or 8, but you know, you can use WebSphere Liberty with Java EE7 or EE8, but this distinction is some of those extra features. You can run any of these, of course, on WebSphere Liberty because it includes everything that Open Liberty offers. So let's pull back, get to my Eclipse again. So we've got 855 to Liberty. I'm going to stay on EE6. I'm not going to run the cloud rules right now, but I could, and we're just going to leave it at 8 to make the easiest set of rules. So some of these rules get selected. You can go in and look at them. You can kind of take a checking out what rules have gotten added. You can view the help from this level. Every rule in the migration report includes help. The Eclipse tool actually includes the exact same help. It's a multi-level help. I don't know if you noticed that. We got a first level help that has a little summary, and then you go into a detailed help. And when you go into the detailed help, that's the same help that was included in the binary scanner. So for every rule, you've got a bit of help. This is what the developer can get, and you can go look at the rules that are available, the help that's available. When you see this little light bulb icon, that means there's a quick fix. These the severity icons, the how they map to Transformation Advisor is the purple X is the severe problems. The green check are the informational things, and the exclamation are the warning things. So they do map between the Transformation Advisor reports and what we have here in the scanner. So just wanted to show you a bit about the detail of choosing these rules and applying this. So this is something your developer would do. They've got their code in Eclipse, so they're ready to do their analysis. So this went to, okay, I've run a few here. This highlighted 10 things in my application. I'm going to jump to the Java code review and navigate through here a little bit. And some of these informational things are interesting.
We lost your audio. Don't know what happened. Yeah, I'm not hearing you at all, Cindy. Maybe you can, there, it's coming back. I can hear your, you can see your mouse got back. So now click your unmute when you get it back.
Nope. Thank you, Dana.
Hey.
So where was I? Oh, help. So we've got a show view, and what you want to make sure is that you have help showing in your portlet. So we'll look for that, and we want to bring up this help view. So we open this help view, and this is really strange. And then, so then when we click on a rule or result, you get the same thing at the rule level, the result level, and you get this detailed help, and you can go in and get more information about what's going on. And what's cool about this is, since it's all tied to the code, unlike having this whole set of results, is really focusing in on the application code, and you can see better what is happening about this little line of code. So when Liberty first came out, we only supported the Java naming namespaces, and we didn't bring over the traditional EJB local, the other traditional namespaces for EJB. But we found this rule got hit a lot in code. Liberty has made the change now so that starting in 2012, using that kernel, for any EJB level, you will get the ability to use your traditional WebSphere name JNDI names. So this rule is informational because it's saying you don't need to make a code change as long as you're using a version of 2012 or later. And so that is, you want to know that. You want to know, make sure you're on the latest, get that latest kernel with your application. And then if we go in and click on some of these additional things, we get more information about these Jackson APIs. So since this is going to the EE6 version of Liberty, this is going to tell you that these APIs are not available unless you configure them to make available. Again, it helps you learn some of the differences between Liberty traditional and traditional WebSphere, because in Liberty we try to hide as much of those implementation APIs as possible, so that if you are packaging them, they don't collide. But you can configure the server to take advantage of them and use them, or you can choose to package it. Now, if we ran this same, and I may not because of time, but if we ran this same evaluation against the using the target of Open Liberty or targeted WebSphere Liberty for EE7 or EE8, it would tell me, it would be a little bit different, and it would tell me that I need to actually add those APIs to my application so that I'm able to continue to use them. I'm not going to get them from my runtime anymore like I was in the past. And so, so just a variety of information. These should be the same results that we got in our Liberty, in our Transformation Advisor binary scans, and then so we can get consistent results. We can fine tune the rules here. We can jump straight to the code and see the results and understand what's happening with our application. I've got one. It's actually a very simple application, but I wanted to show the. Okay, this one's talking about Java spaces and how the older implementations have been removed, and gives you some heads up and warning that should be compatible with your version 1.2, but this is an area you're going to want to test and make sure is good. It's all about testing, running, trying what you're doing to make sure you're able to run and get results. So the other little application I have, I'm going to close this one up, it's just to show you the ability to do a quick fix in the binary scanner. I mean, in the Eclipse tool. Sorry, but so let's take this full circle. So I do have the binary scanner here because your developers might be interested in doing a scan as well. So I've got this simple REST guide, and it was from a guide, right? And I've got this environment, and I can quickly build a report. A little bit different than the report being built in TA. Everything is packaged by default. You can separate them, but everything's packaged by default in the one report. So you get the technology report Dana referred to. You get your analysis report. And this one is saying that we've got some results that this particular app is using a COM-WS, a server name, get server name API, or get full name on the API. So I know where I can go look. So I could take that and just go look in my code running in any browser, but I want to show you what we have in the Eclipse tool. But first, Graham showed running the application in dev mode in a container. And that is wonderful. You can run it quickly in the container. If you're not quite ready to get your containers going, there's also, using the Liberty Maven plugin, look for that in the Open Liberty site too. You can use MVN Liberty dev for a local dev mode. Up the app in Liberty and get the app running, and I'm going to, it's going to make sure the latest stuff is downloaded. And again, this is just running locally. So I know there was some questions about having the disk capacity to run containers locally, but you can also easily run Liberty locally. And we're getting it going. All right. And the app is running in dev mode. So what this means is that the server is watching my code changes that I'm making in that area. If I go to my, I have this little, it is based off a Liberty guide, and there's this system, properties, and great, that's a little REST API, and that one works. That one has no problems in it. The other system one is hello server. Okay, so we've done hello enough, but I'm going to do it one more time. And hello server, okay, we've got a fault that we're hitting this WebSphere API. It's a problem, and we yeah, we're getting this this class not found because it's a WebSphere API, and Liberty doesn't include that WebSphere API. So let's go fix that. And if we go into Eclipse, and I'm going to go do another configuration, just so you see this more than once, I'm going to go through analysis and bring up that configuration menu. I'm going to do a new configuration because this one's going to be tWAS to Liberty, but it's going to be Liberty, and it's going to be for that REST application. So I'm going to just choose the REST application, and we're going to go select the rules again. It's going to come for, it's going to be WebSphere Application Server Migration, and we're going to set, we're going to go 855 to Liberty, or I can do Open Liberty. We'll go EE7, EE8, and leave the rest the same. So we're going to do that, apply it, save it, and analyze. And I am going to go look. I've got 3 results here, where the main one is the tWAS traditional Liberty and getting this server name. So if I click on the help, I get the detailed help here, and it's the same help we saw in the binary scanner report. And we've had a little bit of refresh issue with this page. So if it goes short, just click off it and click back on. But if I double click on the piece of code, yeah, I see I've got some an import that's got some WebSphere stuff in it, and that's getting flagged. I've got some the get full name, and that's getting flagged. If I do a right click and do a quick fix preview, then I see side by side what would be changed if I allowed the tool to do the quick fix. It's going to take out the import. It's going to change the server get full name to a get property, and great. And it's what the help had told me it was going to do there. And so I can click again to do the quick fix and apply that quick fix, and now that's been changed. Now, before I can get back to, oops, yeah, that's not the window I want. Before I can get back to that window, like Graham experienced, it's already changed. So if I pull up my window and refresh this window, I've got hello from default server, because that's the same, the name under which I'm running. And so these, we have quick fixes where we can do them. They're not everywhere, but they give you, there are enough of them. It makes it worthwhile to go explore the tool, go in there and use it to try to apply your modernization changes. So we're running out of time here. So I want to just bring this back up, bring back the, well, where's my slides? Okay. Bring this back up. We've got, we've talked about so many things that we have available for you. There's the Transformation Advisor links here, what's happening in migration tools. We're updating all these tools quarterly, if not sooner. We've got Dana's App Transformers TV channel. Please join that, check it out. We've got info here on how to get to TA, how to get to the migration toolkit and mono to micro. We've got so much. We love for you to give it a try and have a good experience in your application modernization.
Yes, thank you so much for joining us and for the discussion in the class chat. And please do reach out and hope the rest of your time at Think is rewarding.